Druid of the Claw. This is for Feral and Guardian, right? Bestial Strength now increases ferocious. That's how you say it, Bastards. Ferocious. Ferocious by damage by 8%. This was 5%, and now increases rampant ferocity damage by 8%. For Feral, ravage damage dealt to other enemies in front of you is increased by 25%, and dreadful wound damage increased by 10%. I'm smelling bleeds. We'll get.
This is basically
more.
the Druid of the Claw, yeah, for sure.
Everybody in the moment was playing Wildstalker, right? There was not too many playing Druid of the Claw.
There's not too many playing Ferals to begin with,
the ones that were playing...
I felt way better playing Wildstalker. I felt like I was also doing more damage as Wildstalker, but Druid of the Claw is actually picking up some steam recently.
Okay, let's go directly for Feral here, because there's a lot. So for Wildstalker specifically, Bloodsucker Vine's damage is reduced by 10%, Bursting Growth damage is increased by 30%, and Bond with Nature increases healing you receive by 4% was 3%. Okay, let's check out the notes here for Feral. So, developers note, we're increasing Feral's damage overall, especially against multiple targets, and moving some of their damage out of Ferocious Bite and into other sources like Bleeds and Builders. Haven't we talked about this last time?
Yes.
Yes, this is the main problem both of us had with the iteration of Feral in the World Within. It was like the talent tree was so much focused on super ferocious by damage, and it felt it was dripping away, you know, melting away from that bleeding damage we got to love from Feral. And seeing this, we love it.
Especially after they took away Tear Open Wounds that would, you know, incentivize you to spam Primal Wrath. That was gone.
Yep.
So, and there was a lot of Ferals. Like, and we've been in this situation with Shadowlands having very bite-focused Ferals, and everybody's like, "But give me back my bleeds, right?"
Yeah. I mean,
so this is good.
We love bite. We love big ass bites from Ferals, but man, there's something so rewarding when those bleeds start ticking and you can see the rotting damage. It's different from an Affliction Warlock, mind you, and kind of different from an Assassination Rogue as well. But let's get into it. So first of all, Rip damage is increased by 10%. Rampant Ferocity's damage is increased by up to 100%. It was 50% when players spent extra energy to Ferocious Bite. We talked about this earlier today, right? This is the talent where you do damage to other targets.
If you bite a target with Rip, all targets with Rip get the extra damage. And this is specifically addressing the, you know, when you Ferocious Bite above 50 energy, you do bonus damage. That bonus damage is now increased by 100% instead of 50.
And it's all around, so they are buffing the AoE. Taste for Blood increases Ferocious Bite damage by 12%. This used to be 15%, so again, moving that incentive away. And an additional 12%, it was 50% during Tiger's Fury. I love to see it. If they're buffing the bleeds and reducing or, you know, small nerfing the predators, the Ferocious Bite effects from wherever they are, I'm fine with that. What else? Apex Predator's chance to proc against multiple targets increased slightly. Shred, Swipe, Brutal Thrash, Lunar Inspiration, Moonfire, and Rake initial damage all increased by 30%.
So a big chunk.
I love it. I love it because I don't know, man. Sometimes there's this fantasy about Feral Druid where instead of you trying to stick to your target all the time, you make sure you put bleeds on everybody, you snapshot it with some nice buffs, some Tiger's Furies over there or whatever, and you see the magic happen. You see the damage going, right? This is beautiful as opposed to just farming for big bites. This is all I'm saying. So seeing this, once again, I'm a happy boy. What else? Berserk now increases all ability and auto attack damage by 15%. This was 10%. Berserk Frenzy now causes enemies to bleed for 150% of all direct damage dealt by combo point generic abilities. That was 135%. So even that got buffed. Beautiful. And my favorite here on the list, Primal Wrath direct damage increased by 20%. I loved Primal Wrath, and I loved using it in AoE, and I love the fact that you have an initial damage and then you have all of the other bleeds going through. It's beautiful. This is basically a instant hit when in AoE, and if that was hitting too weak, you didn't really felt right, even if like the bleeds, let's say, were doing a lot of the heavy lifting, sometimes the mobs just die too fast, and you cannot really like make too much value of your bleeds.
Yeah, it's interesting that they've buffed this because that was essentially the whole purpose of the Tear Open Wound sound that they took away. If you Primal Wrath the target with Rip on it, it does more instant damage, so that was really great. and I was just looking at some of the damage breakdown of ferals in dungeons. Feral was keeping up, this particular one, I'm looking at Feral keeping up with Unholy, which is a lot. So Feral isn't that shabby, we're just not seeing them because the people just don't play it. So the damage that they've received is actually pretty big, especially the 30% increase to the instant damage of Brutal Slash, Shred, and all of that stuff. That will probably add quite a bit.
You gotta love it, baby. You gotta love it. Also, Adaptive Swarm direct damage is increased by 20% for those who loved it. I never liked Adaptive
No,
Swarm.
I don't. It's so silly. It's funny because that was usually like a balanced Druid type ability where you send bugs out, and they took it away for balance and Resto, which were the two most likely to use that.
They
kind of
used
ability.
it the most.
And they left it for Feral. Like, what the fuck, man? Just give me some cat, give me some Savage, Tiger, King of the Jungle abilities. But you know, that's a whole other story.
They wanted to test a different flavor with damage over time, having bugs.
Probably, sure.
Which I don't know how that kind of correlates with any of Feral, Druid, whatever.